Some people assume that I'm just like a Supreme kid. It's way more than that here.
Damn, bro, I want to spend, but do I really want to spend, or do I want to take this money and re-up? The reseller in me is re-upping. Like, bro, I'm looking around the house. I'm like, man, all this could go. Like,
all this, bro. What's going on, y'all? Reporting for Complex News. I'm your host, Hogan, and if you're wondering why things look a little different, that's because they are. But we here at Complex and Complex News are working very hard to provide you quality content during the Corona shutdown. So they got us doing a little bit of remote reporting, if you will. And today I'm here to talk about the economic impact of the shutdown on streetwear and culture as a whole. Now, today I got two guests. Number one, Urban Necessities, Jaysse. He's a CEO and owner. He also has two stores, one in Las Vegas and one in Soho, New York. And Eric Whiteback, owner and creator of EWDIY, which is actually, reworked pieces from Supreme's collection that he offers with cool, unique twists on them. So if you're not hip or not familiar to these two characters that I just named, please stay tuned, keep it locked, because these are two people that you definitely want to put on your radar and maybe do a little bit of investigating on for yourself, especially now that you got more time during the Corona shutdown. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my first guest of Urban Necessities, Jaysse. And how are you doing? How are you holding up during the shutdown? Let me start off by asking that. Are you okay? Are you in good health?
Yeah, we're in good health. Wife and I, we're family that's out here. We're all good. Being inside and trying to find creative ways to still stay relevant and not let this extra time consume you. You know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you this: How did you get the chair unstuck out of the hallway yet? Did they come by and
Bruh,
It was good problems to have. I wish I had a massage chair.
Yo, when it works, it's amazing. B, you should definitely look into getting one.
How you doing, Eric?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Just trying to, I guess, defeat cabin fever.
Yeah, man, that's a challenge, dude. Trust me. I'm feeling it.
I mean, it's kind of hard when you see all these celebrities with their, acreages, and they ride four-wheelers and petting animals. And
hey, that's me and you soon, man.
Yeah, I ain't tripping. There ain't no problem. We're going to get there. So I'm going to just jump right into it. Yeah. Have you seen any strain? Because you also have one of the biggest collections, or access and privy to one of the biggest collections that I know of personally. Have you seen a dip, or do you feel a strain now that the ability to go and physically purchase stuff has been taken away from us for a little while?
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely. I think the thing that is really disappointing about a lot of it is I think the streetwear game is really about community more than anything. I think that gets overlooked a lot, but I think so much of even so many of the relationships that I have with people, like even you, I wouldn't know you if it wasn't for streetwear, right? And so I think obviously that's one of the tough things about Corona right now, and just the way that it's changing, the way people will have to sell product and buy products. It really takes out that personal element of streetwear, which to me is my favorite part of the whole game.
Obviously, the problem right now that everyone's acknowledging is you can't go out and do normal day-to-day stuff. My brand has, even though social media has really helped me grow something a little bit different that people tend to pay attention to from time to time, I've always focused on me making my dollar in store more so than online. Like online's always done okay for us, but it's never been our bread and butter. And over these last couple of weeks, over these last 2 weeks, it's all we got. Like every other hoarder in the world, you get to that point where you're like, yo, I gotta clean this up. I gotta get rid of stuff. And I've been meaning to do this for a while. I just never had the time because I'm never home. 2 weeks ago, we launched a bunch of clothes. I put like 500.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been secretly shopping through there. Like, oh, okay. If that's still there next week, I'm pulling the trigger. It's over.
Just building traction and creating engagement when it's really hard to stand out right now. So this at least keeps our name out there and showing people like, yo, you could still go out there and get it, and be resourceful.
Let's talk a little bit about that in terms of just like the shift physically going into brick and mortar spots. Would you say that your online sales have competed, if not exceeded, what you was doing at brick and mortar in terms of when you will be open on a regular day?
I'll say that in the 2 Sundays where we've dropped product, I've generated, for me, I've generated more profit than I ever have with just Urban. We done over 300 transactions in less than 24 hours, basically, with the site. Like UN ain't never done
And that shit ain't cheap.
And now we're looking at it, and it's because of Shops 2J's Closet. Like, we're looking at changing the entire business model of what we're gonna be doing with Urban Necessities. Like, I put 493 items 2 Sundays ago on my site, and almost 400 units moved. You know what I mean? Like, and that was with like little to no promo.
Do you think that people are having to rely more on networks within the community to acquire pieces? Because you can't go into a Supreme store right now, and online, you know, as how that works. Done.
Actually, I kind of think that one of the things that we haven't really touched on yet here is just the economic impact of the whole thing, right? And I actually think that sellout times are significantly slower. For a company like Supreme, I would say that probably 99% of their product lives online in the first place. There's only just a very, very little amount of product that goes from that would live in the store normally, as opposed to online. So I think that's not really even worth talking about. Like, I think that's so minuscule in the grand scheme of things. But I think what's happening is, like, dude, a lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of people are uncertain about what's going to happen. A lot of people have taken huge hits to their portfolios.
Right.
And so even over the past 2 weeks, there have been several Supreme items that I expected to sell out really quickly. And some of them are still available 2 weeks later.
Really?
Like even those North Face jackets, right? Like they sat for days and
They
are selling below retail. The Ram LZ hoodie, which was like an awesome piece, came in one color, like expected it to fly. I think it's still available in size medium on the web shop, and that's going to be a $400 hoodie in 2 years. So it's like, I actually think that access to product has become easier during this time.
I actually see you got the piece on that you have on your IGTV.
Yeah.
I see, I synced that. I know all about that. I've been letting a lot of stuff go and investing into my brand. And I know you got the EWD DIY stuff that you've been doing, which is crazy because like we as creatives, because I heard you just say, you know, people are spending less on streetwear. Well, I agree, but disagree, where I say that I think that people are spending less money on shit that they already know that they can get and are looking to buy more stuff like your shit, my shit. Some of these newer brands that's coming up and really pushing the bar during this shutdown and gaining more attention, whereas we kind of know what to expect from Green. You know what I mean? We kind of know what to expect from Palace. We kind of know what to expect from, even with the new Nike drop, Stussy, you know what I mean? And they, you know, collabing with other higher end people and shit like that. But how do you think this is affecting those whose sole source of income or the majority of their income and time is dedicated to being outside of Nike or being outside of Palace or even being outside of Round 2 to catch, you know, proxy sales on stuff that somebody might bring in? Do you feel like this could be a way or a means to survive during this tough economic time?
A lot of those resellers you see have these, you know, massive sort of hoards that they sit on.
Hell yeah.
That hoard is an awesome safety net. Like, don't be afraid to dip into that, and those products will always be available back to people again. But, you know, like, I'm sure there's plenty of people with huge collections right now that could use a few extra bucks. Like, don't be afraid to go through your own closet even and just like look for some of the things that you don't wear, some of the things you don't love as much. Like, you can let those things go. There's a million ways to sell them. Everyone is on all those platforms right now. Everyone's on eBay and StockX and Grail, and everyone's there trying to buy stuff right now because they can't buy it anywhere else. So like, yeah, don't be afraid to dip into that collection. And if you need a few extra bucks, like, that product will always be there to buy back.
I can attest to that shit. Sell that shit. Don't keep that shit. Sell. I'm gonna say it right now. It's a seller's market right now, cause you know what I mean. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, there's probably more people selling than buying right now, which might make it a buyer's market. But like, if you need the money, like, you know, don't be afraid to get your money when you need your money.
I say if you done had that shit for more than a year, it's already paid for itself. So anything that you get in return, as long as it's not under what you paid for it, then it's a profit. That's just I said it out loud, y'all. That's how Rex Hogan, when y'all be like, Rex, how the fuck are you selling this for this cheap? I'll go on StockX and look at how much you motherfuckers gonna pay shit. And I'm gonna undercut that shit by $25 every time.
There you go. Yeah.
Now I noticed that Nike, they didn't push drops back. Adidas has also postponed a lot of their drops. Brands just in general is kind of like easing up.
The brands really don't have any choice but to push product back, because you got to look at it. China was closed down pretty much 4 or 5 months. That's 4 or 5 months of product that, you know, when we see a pair of sneakers hit the doors, it's normally 6 to 8 months before that shoe actually hits the doors or is online, right? So think about how many releases just got pushed back because we're now 4 or 5 months, China shut down. Now the States it's gonna be wild, bro. I think a lot of GRs are gonna look a little different or hit a little different from the resale side for a small window amount of time. You know what I mean?
Basically, until people can get back and kind of, you know, scratch their own itches. You feel like right now FOMO is king, and that basically people are going to succumb to their own vices.
I mean, a little bit. Think about it, right? I'm sitting here online looking at stuff being sold that I'm like, I didn't even know was being sold, right? I'm sitting here like, damn, bro, I want to spend, but do I really want to spend, or do I want to take this money and re-up? You know what I mean? The reseller in me is re-upping. I'm a hoarder, like, to the fullest, bro. And I've never had any sort of emotional attachment to it because I always knew this is my
Don't bury the shit. Yes. Do not bury the shit.
Yeah, like, bro, I'm looking around the house. I'm like, man, all this could go. Like,
all this, bro.
So all this is what it's for, bro. I'm just hoping that, you know, we're able to do enough throughout this little, you know, time away from reality that people can still justify paying attention to the Instagram when we cut that website back on. Right. Go and shop, you know what I mean? But we've been trying to leave meat on the bones too with all the stuff I've been selling. Bro, I sold shirts for like $10 that are hitting for like $100.
Oh no, trust me, I've been there. I hear with you, brother. And I feel like it's doing a service, and I also feel like, you know, in this time, brands as well as like y'all that's watching at home, you know, if you're a brand or a smaller brand, this is the time for you to really capitalize and, you know, concentrate your focus and really jumping out there, because it's a lot of brands, and I hate to say it, a lot of stuff is going to fall by the wayside during this time. And really, this is going to be a test of, you know, survival of the fittest, or it'll basically take your attention because you've got so much time on your hands that it could direct you somewhere that you might not have thought that you would look, and that you found something that you actually find an attachment that you actually like.
The one reason why I think your brand is probably going to stick is because I think you've done a great job over the years, like really being yourself and really showing the relatability with your stuff to your consumer, right? And people legit, the efforts that you've put in over the years, people really want to see you win, bro.
Man, thank you, bro.
You know, when you look at some of these brands that we're used to seeing in stores that we've thrown, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, they stop telling the story.
Right.
Now it's just like it's become such a machine that you gotta spit it out, and their stuff gets watered down.
Right.
That's why I think the same thing with us. Like, we've still been able to tell our story. People can still relate to the story. So when we do stuff with American Eagle, that they just launched that a couple days ago online, and you jump on there, you see stuff sold out. I did these like cargo pants where they got a fanny pack that detaches, you can put on the front and back.
Man, let me send me a picture of them shits. I didn't even know.
I'll put you the link right now. It's on American Eagle's website. And then we got a collab. We got our collab coming out with Nautica later this year, and it's gonna go into most of their doors. It's like 20 pieces.
So that's why your ass was over there hanging out at the little archive spot.
Yeah, I actually on Shop 2J's Closet, I got a couple sample denim jackets that we did with Nautica. And it's going to be available worldwide. We're going to be doing a couple of like
pop-up. Congratulations, man. What the fuck?
We just been working, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I tell you, listen, man, I'm going to be all the way 100 with you. Motherfuckers be having more than the motherfucker to say about 2J's, man. But you know what I love to tell motherfuckers, man? I respect that man's story. I respect that man's journey. And I respect that man's humbleness now that he done went through and endured, and he could be flexing way harder on you motherfuckers than what he do.
I don't really focus on the negative energy, bro, because it's not gonna bring me any benefit. Like when I post what I post, whether it be the watches or the cars or me doing whatever stuff, people are like, yo, that's unattainable. I'm not doing it because I'm like, yo, look at what I got, because I really don't value just shit like that.
I'm well aware, Jaysse.
It's more about showing people the consistency and growth. Like, you know the story, but not everybody might not. Like, you know, out the mud.
Bro, I'm gonna close it out on that note, man. I appreciate you, man. Listen, to Joni
always love.
And the doggy little Loogie and Doogie over there. Just stay safe. Keep doing it, and bro. You know, I have faith in the Urban Necessities brand. I know y'all.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot. And keep doing your thing too, bro. Like I've said from day one, from when I met you, bro. The growth, the persistency, it's a beautiful thing to watch, man. You got a supporter here from day one, bro. For real.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Till next time, bro. Man.
Yeah. Love.
What's next? Like, I mean, I know we shut down. I'm gonna keep making t-shirts. Obviously, I'm gonna keep dying shit on Supreme shit. But what's next? You know what I'm saying? In terms of immediate, you know, the next move for Eric Whiteback.
I've sort of undertaken a few things while I've been here. I'm literally like, you know, quarantined in this one room for 2 weeks. But I've been doing things like, you know, I have a cell phone number that I gave out. I texted everyone back on for like, you know, I texted 4,000 people on it in one day. And
don't text Hogan because he not sending 4,000 text messages back to y'all asses. That's Eric, all right? But that's dope, bro.
Yeah, that was really dope. And then I did, as you would know, Supreme has done a lot of different references and collaborations with music groups, right? And they probably, you know, referenced or collabed with, you know, 100 plus music groups. And so what I did is I actually made a playlist on Spotify of every music group that Supreme has either collabed with or referenced in any of their work.
Oh shit!
And we made that playlist public, and it was like a, you know, I think it was like a 9-hour playlist. So it's one of those things where it's like that didn't actually make a lot of good content for me, but it was one of those things where it's like it's providing value to my followers at the end of the day, and it gives them like a little bit of something fun or something to look forward to while they're stuck at home right now. But personally, I would say that like at least for what I hope the lasting impact is like I hope the lasting impact is just gratitude. And that, like, you know, next time you're in line, like, and you're with your friends and you're with your homies at a lineup or whatever, like, it's fun and you enjoy it and you appreciate it and you don't take it for granted. And so to me, that would be like, if that's one of the things that comes from this, that would be one of the coolest things.
Well, I like talking to you, Eric, man. Most people just think you're this kid that just cuts up Supreme balls and throws shit off this balcony. But I'm like, nah, it's a little bit more, you know, depth to the kid. You get me?
I'm not going to be the kid making Supreme videos forever. Right?
No, you don't listen. I wasn't gonna be the motherfucker at the Supreme lines forever, and you see where it's got me.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people assume that I'm just like a Supreme kid. It's way more than that here. I think like if
I'm aware.
You know that, but some people think I'm just like some, you know, kid that got lucky. At the end of the day, like there's a lot of hard work and a ton of intentionality that goes into everything that I do.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
All right. Anytime, you know, I'm Team Rax all the way.
Hey, squad, gang, gang.
Anytime, you know, I got you.
You already know it, man. Thank you. So I think the takeaway from this should be camaraderie amongst the network, and basically your network is your network. So don't be afraid to get online, use your social media, go ahead and let some of that stuff go if you got it. And if you're looking to get it, this is the time for you to go ahead and buy it. Maybe, you know, I don't know. I can only speak for myself and say that if I can do it, then you for sure can do it. Reporting live for Complex News, I've been your host, Rex Hogan, and we will see you next time.